Please open up.
I can't do this. Infection.
So I saw who was making these tier lists, and I decided, you know what? With all the alien movies out there, which one of those aliens from those movies would give us the worst time if we were to get invaded by them? Now, of course, not every alien is on this list, but let's put some of the ones that are our favorites on this tier list. So here's our list. We'll be starting off with aliens that are just worrisome if they're on our planet. Not a big deal that they're there, just slightly annoying, or could become a problem later on if it's not taken care of, but not that hard to take care of. Probably only a few people know about it, or they get out and the military takes care of it with ease. The next step up is problematic, where these things can't give you full-scale destruction, but they could become a problem. Like if they're regularly eating people all the time and reproducing at a decently quick rate, then there's just chaos. Where them coming to Earth is definitely a problem. It's a little bit beyond problematic, to the point where everyone is now running and screaming and worrying for their lives. Then there's full-on destruction, where human survival is very unlikely. Then there is extinction level. Human survival is most certainly unlikely. Now, as you can see in the little icons below, we have some of the aliens from movies that I've covered, and we're going to be seeing where they fit on this list. Mind you, this is just my opinion. You guys may feel differently. I'm just going off of what I observe in the movies. So the first one we're going to start off with, we're starting with the aliens from Signs. These lanky reptoid daddy long-leg aliens from the movie Signs don't pack much of a punch. Their idea of a good time is traveling to and touching down on a planet that possesses 71% of a substance that can kill them, and scribbling in cornfields. These guys are humanoid and basically easy to take down with a bat and a glass of water. The most people would worry about is some tall greenish thing that looks a little like them walking around in their backyards who can fade out of existence by getting drizzled on. They get the lowest tier. At most, they are worrisome, if only because they are aliens. The Mogwai. Mogwai are small creatures that were genetically engineered to bring about universal peace, but the experiment went wrong, and by then they were already spread onto 3 planets. Unlike our first participant, when these guys get wet, they get turned on, and instantly pop out several more of themselves that grow instantly. Most of them have very nasty attitudes and will go out of their way to create chaos and mischief. They are as annoying as rats would be if they had sentience. If they eat after midnight, they pop out these demonic versions of themselves that are even worse. None of these creatures are nice, and they often kill each other for fun, but despite all of that, their high energy and frequent aggression, they don't hurt humans who aren't afraid of them, and they're so small that they're ridiculously easy to kill. You can kill them with anything, but being that we have a lot of water on our planet, that would be annoying. But given how fast they breed and how much mischief they can get into, they would hurt a lot of people by proxy. They would be problematic. The Death Angels from A Quiet Place. Or as I like to call them, the listeners. What has a very bad temper, a mouth filled with needle-sharp teeth it never uses, can hear very well but badly when the plot deems it necessary, and a body covered in bulletproof, explosion-proof, and fireproof armor. The Quiet Place monsters. These guys don't seem particularly intelligent and only act on animalistic instinct, and they can easily be put down if you have half a brain and some device to play a frequency that hurts them, or just drawing them in with noise, waiting for them to open up their pedal heads when they're trying to listen a little better, and then just pop them. There would be no reason for Earth to be devastated by these things, knowing we can use sound against them or trap them in deep enough water. They are, or should be, problematic. They're essentially supersized, blind cockroaches that can easily be outsmarted. So they get problematic tier. The Cloverfield monster. Kaiju are usually a problem, especially if they are nigh indestructible. With something this big that has fleas that can chomp you in half and make you explode like a tick getting popped if they manage to just bite your ass, there is a reason for concern. This creature seems to do more destruction because the military was trying to kill it. And, okay, maybe because it was eating people too, but a sizable bomb can kill or at least subdue the creature. Our biggest issue with the monster is that we pissed it off. That being said, it can only be in one place and its fleas in the local area. But yeah, the body popping thing is concerning and quite horrible. They get chaos tier. Ghidorah. Now this is another kaiju that is literally indestructible unless you have another kaiju equally as bad. He can instantly regenerate, create megastorms and tornadoes, and destroy everything around him just because. He has a rap sheet of destroying planets simply by existing. Ghidorah can cause waves of destruction, Just imagine the day after tomorrow, then add massive thunderstorms. This creature is also intelligent, so he knows what's up and what he's doing. If you try to deliberately hurt him, well, first of all, he'll just regenerate, and he'll make sure he hunts everything to death that looks like you. The good news is he can't be everywhere at once, so you might be able to survive, providing there are not other kaiju around for him to control. But with him terraforming the whole Earth against your favor, he gets the destruction tier. The mimics from the Edge of Tomorrow. Mimics are tingly-tangly aliens that came to Earth to wage war on humans. They have a hive mind and can reverse time and create temporal loops when dead. They keep rewinding time until they basically kill off everyone, learning from their mistakes and essentially doing what you do when you are about to die or you've lost a battle against the boss and you just keep reloading the game. Had it not been for the plot armor, chances are the mimics would kill the shit out of the humans and they would stay dead. They get Extinction tier. Omniman.
Think, Mark!
Imagine Superman with no kryptonite and no one to stop him. Omniman off an entire planet and had time to go home for dinner. Extinction tier next. The Shimmer. The Shimmer is a shapeless, fractal thing that crash landed on Earth and began terraforming the surrounding area, forming Area X. Everything that entered the Shimmer began to metaphorically get refracted like light in bizarre ways. The DNA of many different organisms and things in general began to change. The Shimmer's favorite thing to do is mishmash different creatures, objects, and plants together or into itself, thus becoming one with everything, or rather turning things into more of itself. Its weakness is taking on destructive tendencies of the world. So it will take on features of the things it's assimilating, but if some of those features are to be destructive or suicidal, it's going to take on those as well. Given how localized it is and how non-aggressive it is, humans would have time to learn it somehow. The most we'd worry about is badly mutated things that would destroy the ecology, but then again, it is localized. It gets the chaos tier. The Skyline aliens. These black cephalopod-like creatures are capable of hypnotizing and using the brains of other species, mainly humans, to fuel themselves. The cephalopod-like aliens are mainly servants of the real aliens. Again, if it were not for plot armor, these things would literally kill every human for food or harvest. They get Extinction tier. The Taotie. This alien reptilian hive-minded race invaded ancient China in the 2016 film The Great Wall. They talk to each other via their skin flappy full things. The queen's the smartest, and they are a horde overall, but with our current militia and weaponry, these things are a dangerous nuisance at best, especially considering magnets disable them, and killing their queen ends them all, and they only have one queen, and they can only breed every 2 decades or something of the sort, so they're just problematic. The Thing. Oh yes, the assimilator, the alien thing that became the inspiration for the game Among Us. It gets people alone and then eats them and becomes them, sort of, or assimilates them into itself. It disguises itself as any living thing to blend in and get at the others. There is an easy way to test if people are infected, but it's only if there's a localized event like in the movie. The alien is smart enough to try and spread all over the world, and people would quickly realize something is amok based on all the survivor stories. Attempts to contain this thing would be maddening, especially since it can split apart from itself and possess anything. Even the blood can move on its own. No one would trust anyone, and people would panic and not work together. Our downfall would be our propensity to panic and not work together. Imagine if this alien thing has possessed or assimilated millions of people. They would quickly all hoard and take over the rest, as well as all living things. They would do it so freaking fast. Being able to take the form of everything and anything, they would find humans hiding. They would take the form of rats, bacteria, viruses. I mean, the possibilities are endless. However, if you catch this thing early, there is a possibility of you being able to survive. However, chances are it would be futile, as it's almost impossible to contain it, especially considering how much intelligence it has. Extinction tier. The Xenomorph from the Alien franchise. As nasty and intelligent as these creatures are, due to their fierceness and horrific reproduction method, many think we wouldn't survive them, but it's actually pretty possible. Their highly acidic blood is an adaptation to low atmospheric pressure. Concocting a dart weapon to shoot some concentrated solution of baking soda ought to do the trick. Otherwise, we have a lot of weapons that would be able to help, and ways to avoid being face-hugged. They would take over quickly, but if humans are smart, they could very well survive. They get Destruction tier. The White Spikes. These intelligent aliens are bulletproof on their back, but very squishy underneath. It'd be very easy to kill them. But their absolutely OP, ridiculous speed of breeding is what makes them such a formidable force. They can shoot spiky things out of their tentacles too, so they can do range attacks. They have many queens that keep popping out babies every few seconds, so much so that their population seems to never get a dent, even though they keep exploding a whole bunch of them and using everything in their arsenal. They must mature very fast, as we've never seen larvae or eggs, and they also have a wicked metabolism. I almost think that they grow the way that the Mogwai do, where they pop out and literally grow to full adult size or near adult size in like seconds or minutes. Finding a way to mass poison them would be perfect, but I doubt the humans would be able to do that in time given how fast these things reproduce, and given that they are literally bioengineered by another intelligent alien race to be intelligent, to breathe super fast, and oh yeah, their main purpose is to clear all life on planets that they're dropped on. Extinction level tier. Again, these are just my opinions, but what do you guys think would be the worst? I know there's a lot of them, like the War of the Worlds aliens that are not on here, but if they were, it's an honorable mention. Aside from the plot, that would be Extinction tier level. But if we could wait it out until they start getting sick, I mean, that's kind of why I didn't add it to the list. It's kind of not fair. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, me answer.